Hello guys, I am back from another video and today we're talking about deku was Typhon. So this is a brand new what if I made specifically from a viewer who recommended me to do this. Actually, the person said he wanted me to make a what if called what if Deku was the strongest monster, and when I thought of monster, my mind immediately goes to the father of all monsters, specifically Typhon from Greek mythology. If you don't know who's Typhon, Typhon is basically the first monster, specifically more like the father of all monsters. Yeah, when I thought of strongest monster, that is what I thought first. And if you also don't know, Typhon is also the husband of Echidna, said to be the mother of all monsters. So yeah, in this what if, it's going to be Izuku actually being the father of all monsters, but it's going to have its own twist. So, let's begin. So, we go to in Greek mythology, specifically during the fight between Zeus and Izuku, aka Typhon. So, Izuku's Typhon form or monster form is basically what you see on the image here. Yeah, he literally has serpents for fingers, snakes for hair, and basically wings that block out the sun. So, Izuku, while fighting Zeus, Zeus says this: "Why did my own mother made you? Why did she?" As Izuku says this, "You are nothing more than a plague to this world, and I shall destroy you, Zeus. You damn disgusting freak, and I will avenge my lover. You killed her in cold blood." As Zeus says this, because she was a monster, a beast. Your so-called lover, Echidna, is a monster. She created all these freaks. As Izuku says this, "You're no different, you damn brat." As Izuku grabs on to Zeus and gets ready to eat him. As Izuku says this, "Any last words?" As Zeus says this, "Well then, I guess you finally fall for that trap." As Izuku says this, "That trap? What do you mean?" As Izuku gets binded by several chains. As Izuku says this, "What is this?" As one god, specifically a man that's wearing an iron mask, sorry, wait for a second, said this: "Hello, father. I finished the chains. So, what we're gonna do with Typhon?" As Zeus says this, "Very good, Hephaestus. Now, I want you to trap him in Mount Olympus's depths, specifically near the volcano known as, wait for a second, in the volcano known as Milos. I want him trapped there, forever." As Izuku starts screaming, saying, "You trapped me here, you." As Izuku starts getting dragged by these titans, specifically Izuku's own brethren, forever enslaved to the gods of Olympus. As Izuku gets chained to in the volcano known as Milos, Izuku was told by Hephaestus that he would be encased in metal, specifically a metal known as ambrosia. Even though it's technically not a metal, it's more like an elixir. But let's just say it's going to turn into like a metal very soon. So the ambrosia starts encasing him in this ambrosia like similar to that krypton or whatever that thing is that Han Solo got trapped in, basically, in like Star Wars. That I don't really know what to call it. It's been a long time since I watched Star Wars. So Izuku was forever trapped in that ambrosia tomb, forever to be trapped forever and ever, never to see his lover, or should I say, get his revenge. Because during the fight, I told all of you guys that Izuku's lover, not Typhon, I meant, wait for a second. Izuku's lover, Echidna, was killed by Zeus. So, because of that, that is why Izuku attacked him, and now he's trapped forever in that volcano known as Mount Milos. So, after a few centuries, let's just say things have been different in the Earth, or the surface. So, unlike in the regular My Hero Academia verse, only girls have quirks. So yeah, it's gonna be basically that type of what if. So, most girls mostly have quirks, while boys don't have. So, after starting the whole hero thing, they started getting ready for some expeditions, specifically on searching up some, well, weird things. Apparently, after the gods were killed, or should I say, went into hiding, they basically created humans. Specifically, humans with the abilities of gods. All thanks to Zeus, after literally almost freaking every girl in the entire Greece. The Greek Isles, basically. Yeah, that's an actual thing. He literally just fricked every single girl in most of his legends. As in most, I mean almost all of his legends. So, that is why most girls have quirks. And most of them are pretty powerful. So, every single girl basically dominated all of the males. And most of the males are just used for, well, mating and for work. So, yeah. Ugh. It's pretty horrible there for the males. If you're a girl, that means you're pretty much like royalty. So, a few years have gone by, or a few centuries, as Izuku is forever cased in this ambrosia like tomb. As a few heroes arrived to Greece, these heroes decided to call themselves the brand new association of heroes in Greece, the Greece branch basically. So, after a while, they decide to try and find some artifacts apparently found in Mount Milos, which is where Izuku is basically staying right now, or should I say entombed. So, after a bit of help from Japan's, well, hero division, specifically by the help of a certain mouse by the name of Nezu. Nezu brings all of his, and yes, his because, well, he's a boy, but he's not technically, so it's okay. So, after bringing in all of his best miners, they started basically chipping away up the mountain, or should I say volcano, until they reached the tomb of where Izuku was trapped. They tried everything to try and break that, well, tomb, as they get a little bit of the, like, a piece of, like, this special metal known as ambrosia. So, after they melted it down, thanks to some help, they made a special brand new armor as they started producing these brand new hero equipment. So, Principal Nezu started scheming, thinking that he can get all of that metal from Mount Milos and turn it into hero armor, getting more profit. He's pretty greedy, I guess. He's pretty seriously greedy, but he's not to the point that he's like super evil and things like that. He just wants the money, I guess, but not in a bad way. So, after a while, they created a special brand new type of drill so they can easily break down the ambrosia metal. So, after a while of like chipping away of this, well, brand new metal, or should I say a few years, they found something weird. Specifically, something monstrous. So, after a bit of, well, chipping away of some of the ambrosia metal, one of them said this: "Hey, Nezu, I think we found something." As Nezu says this, why did you say that? As Nezu sees something, it was black, almost dark-ish, almost similar to a gray color, unlike the Ambrosia's gold-ish color. Actually, it's not really goldish, it's more like a rainbow color mixed with a gold, like, tint. So, Nezu touches that thing as it causes a bit of a rumble. As Nezu says this, I don't know what it is, but it seems to be dangerous, so better just quarantine that area. So, they basically stopped mining from there as they started chipping away of the other parts, which sort of made Izuku wake up a little bit. Izuku, thanks to the ambrosia metal that's encasing his body, he's forever stuck in a dream. A dream that is where he was tortured by the ghost of. Wait for a second. The ghost of Echidna, his lover. Echidna started saying these words in his dream. You just left me here to die. Why did you leave me? Why didn't you just kill him? Izuku was troubled by these nightmares. Izuku said he was sorry. He couldn't save her. He couldn't take his revenge. He felt angry at the gods as Izuku wants revenge. He wants to make the gods burn. He wants to see the gods pay for their sins and make them pay no matter what. Izuku felt absolute hatred. Like, seriously, like absolute hatred, to the point that he considers trying to kill humans first. But Izuku thought of just killing the gods first, then ruling the humans as a god, and the only god. So, by the way, I want all of you to pick in the comments if Izuku should be a villain or a hero, because I don't have any ideas for that. I may be planning to make him a hero, but I want all of you to decide. Hero or villain? Your choice. Or maybe even vigilante if you want that or something. So, Izuku was still having those dreams, but thanks to the interference of, well, Principal Nezu and his greed, well, more of the ambrosia getting slashed, or basically getting taken away from, like, or at least getting away from Izuku's body, or should I say taken away, it basically keeps making him break out of this nightmare, this dream. And the more the ambrosia basically gets away, or should I say just gets out of his tomb and used for like another thing, like for example a weapon or armor, it makes Izuku even more aware that he's in a dream. So, after a few more years of all of this, they broke off a piece of another ambrosia shard. So, after they broke that piece, Izuku felt weird, that he was trapped, as Izuku realizes that it's all a dream. Izuku felt rage that the gods dared to try and trap him in a stupid dream. As Izuku looks over and sees the visage of his lover, Echidna, as she says this, "You left me to die. Why? I thought you were my..." As Izuku slashes her across the face, making her disappear, as the spell is broken. So, after the spell was broken, many of the people around Greece, and also near Greece, and also in Greece, they basically start feeling a gigantic tremor, almost like an earthquake, but bigger. As Nezu sees the mountain almost looking like it's about to explode. It erupts in flame and ash, like what do you call it? Like Pompeii. Izuku rises as two of his large hands and big wings appear, blocking out the sun. Many people started screaming, saying, "What is that? Is that a villain?" And one of the heroes arrived at the scene, including some others, including All Might, which she is a girl this time in this what if. So, after she sees Izuku rising up from the smoke, everybody sees that it's a large, monstrous man with fingers made out of serpents. His wings are black as night, and his eyes burned with rage. His hair is made out of snakes, as his face was horrifying. It looked like it looked like the lizard man, but except more more lizard like, but to the point that it's even more terrifying. As Izuku says this, "Where are you, Zeus? Where are you?" As many of the heroes started pelting him with their quirks. As Izuku looks over and sees all of the heroes, as Izuku senses their blood that they're related to Zeus or the other gods. As Izuku burns the entire area, except for the heroes, Izuku started coming out of the mountain and goes free, bringing in several of his monstrous children, which were trapped near Izuku, like the Chimera, the Enemian Lion, the Hydra, even the Sphinx arises from their graves as almost like zombies, controlled by Izuku's rage and anger. As Izuku says this, "Well then, I should be going to Mount Olympus to finally meet him again." As Izuku starts flying towards Mount Olympus, up in the clouds, as many of the heroes dumbfounded seeing a male quirk user, or what they think is a male quirk user. So, many of the people start getting scared and terrified seeing that monster, but most of the heroes thought it was a boy with a quirk, which was impossible to them. Most of the male's quirks are basically like dormant, so they can't use their quirks, and because of that, they thought it was some. They thought it was impossible, but when they saw Izuku, they were dumbfounded. So, when Izuku arrives at Mount Olympus, Izuku sees the entire area, almost looking like there was another battle around. As Izuku sees something interesting with his eye, Izuku sees the trident of Poseidon, the bolts of lightning wielded by Zeus, and the helmet of Hades, which said to give the person who ever wears it invisibility, all broken, shattered, including many of the other weapons and items that the other Olympian gods used. As Izuku sees another person there, and that person was Apollo. Apollo bleeding out. As Izuku says this, "Hello, Apollo. So, what happened here?" As Apollo says this, let's just say some of the giants kind of hurt us bad. As Izuku sees his stomach being emblazoned with a flame, and it looked like he was stabbed. As Izuku says this, For a god, you're quite weak. I remembered your father actually beating me, Apollo. As he says this. Ugh, yeah, too bad I'm gonna be dying soon. As Izuku says this, then what happened here in the first place? As Apollo said this, well, my father, during a disagreement with some giants, the entire giant race basically destroyed almost half of our forces, even killing the three main gods. And I'm the only survivor, I guess. As Izuku says this, so you're the only survivor. Huh, whatever. I'll just leave you to die out. Just to die here. As a recompense for your sins. As he says this, but I wasn't the one who did this. The one who killed your lover or whatever. As Izuku looks over and says this, don't you dare speak like that to her. She is my wife, and your father killed her in cold blood. Just because our children, even me and her, were just monsters, it doesn't mean that you had to kill them. As Apollo just said this, too bad I guess. I don't have much time, but I just wanted to say, Typhon, I'm sorry for my father's actions. As Izuku leaves him, bringing out his monstrous wings, as Izuku starts flying off to the human world, Izuku goes down to the ground, seeing all of the destruction that he made. The ash, the soot, the flames that engulfed almost the like almost destroying a part of Greece. Izuku just sighs and sits down, just looking at the destruction. As Izuku sees a child. This child looks like a kid. He had green hair and green eyes. As Izuku says this, so, who are you? As he says this, who are you? A hero? As Izuku or Typhon said this, I am no mere hero. I am Typhon, the god of monsters. Actually, the father of all monsters. As he says this, as the kid starts crying, as Izuku says this, why are you crying, boy? As he says this, my parents abandoned me. Just because I was quirkless. Just because I was a boy. As Izuku says this, why is a boy like you being discarded? And what are these quirks? As he looks over and sees Izuku, seeing his black, almost dark, pitch black wings. As he says this, wait, quirk? Wait, are you an angel? As Izuku says this, I am no mere angel boy. I am no longer a part of this stupid world. This world ruled by tyrants. Or at least, not anymore. So I don't really have anything to do now. As the boy says this. So, I'm just gonna die here. Die here alone. As Izuku looks over and sees the boy crying. As Izuku says this, so, you're about to die, right, boy? As he says this, yeah. What are you looking at me for? As Izuku, or should I say Typhon, shapeshifts into the boy, becoming his brand new form. As Typhon says this, ugh, being this being in this form feels weird. Being so young when my present self, or at least my form, looks monstrous. At least I'll at least look normal in this time. As he says this, the boy, wait, you're able to shapeshift? As Izuku says this, well then, guess I'll be leaving you, boy. See ya then. Izuku creates his big black wings, but more of a grayish color, almost similar to maybe like angel wings. As Izuku starts flying off, as Izuku tries to find somewhere that he can belong, so he can find somewhere that actually accepts him, accepting him as a monster. So, I hope you liked the first episode of this series, and I hope you liked the video. Comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye!